everyone, Carson here, and in today's video, I am going to be running you through a Bluehost Dedicated Server review. Now, before we get into this 2021 review of Bluehost Dedicated Server Hosting, just a reminder to drop a like and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future uploads, because I offer great prices, great deals, and interesting news and everything, reviews, you name it, I have it. So remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell, and now let's get into the video. Oh, also just a reminder that I will actually have a link to Bluehost's Dedicated Server Hosting in the description if you want to check it out and receive special discounts. And now let's get into the review. Now, Bluehost is a very prominent web hosting company. They've got servers all over the world, and they are known for their quality of service all over the world as well. They only launched in 2003, which makes them definitely a newer company, but they've cemented their place in the hosting industry without a doubt, becoming easily one of the most recognizable and well-known names in the market. They've got a bunch of different types of hosting, but they actually offer dedicated server hosting as well. And if you're not familiar with dedicated server hosting, it's essentially where you get your own computer in their hosting area, in their hosting bank. You get your very own dedicated server to run all your processes. So now let's go ahead and get started on the review, the pros and cons, and everything you need to know about Bluehost's dedicated server hosting. Now, the nice thing about dedicated hosts is their servers will be dedicated only to you. So the server will essentially have a specific amount of resources included, like RAM, CPU, bandwidth, IP addresses, all those resources, and those resources will be allocated only to you, never to be used even if someone else is pulling data from the surrounding server. So essentially, your server will be completely isolated from any of the surrounding servers, any of the other websites in Bluehost storage. Now, you won't be able to use anyone else's resources even if your website traffic overloads your dedicated host, but on the flip side, other users won't be able to use yours. Now, dedicated servers are probably superior to every other type of hosting server in pretty much every way, because you have complete control over every single setting in the server that you can customize exactly how you want. Another big benefit of dedicated servers is that your performance will always be predictable. Now, the downside to dedicated servers is the price, because the pricing can be quite a bit more than any other hosting plan. This is because the cost of maintaining an entire server is quite a bit more, and it's not distributed between the multiple users of that server. However, Bluehost does actually offer some very cost-effective plans for your dedicated hosting. Bluehost has 3 different dedicated hosting packages. The packages are named Standard, Enhanced, and Premium respectively. Now, obviously, the prices and specs for each of these packages differs quite a bit. The nice thing about that, though, is that it'll be very easy for you to find a package you want, because one of the pros of Bluehost is that they have a very wide range of choices for you with their 3 different dedicated packages. Now, the first package is the Standard Dedicated package. It's definitely the best package for people who just want to try out Bluehost's dedicated hosting service, because it has the lowest price among all of these 3 packages I'm going to be talking about. Now, the price for this plan starts at $79.99 per month. And in case you're wondering, why is that price so much? Well, it's a dedicated server, so it does play out. It is definitely worth it, and trust me, there are a lot of dedicated servers that are way more than that. Now, with that dedicated plan, you get a 2.3 GHz CPU with 4 cores and 8 threads, 4 GB of RAM, 500 GB of SSD storage, 5 TB of bandwidth, and 3 dedicated IP addresses. Now, another nice thing about Bluehost plans is that you can always upgrade to different plans, so if you're running out of storage or specs, you can always upgrade to the next plan. Speaking of the next plan, though, we have Enhanced Dedicated Hosting. The Enhanced Dedicated Hosting plan comes at $99.99 per month. Now, it comes with a 2.5 GHz CPU at 4 cores and 8 threads. It comes with 1 TB of SSD storage, 8 GB of RAM, and 10 TB of bandwidth, as well as 4 dedicated IPs for your personal use. Now, finally, on Bluehost's list of dedicated hosting, they have the Premium Dedicated plan. The Premium Dedicated package will cost you around $119.99 every month. It comes with a lot of features, though, including a 3.3 GHz 4-core and 8-thread CPU, 16 GB of RAM, 1 TB of SSD disk space, 15 TB of bandwidth, and 5 dedicated IP addresses. Now, in case you're not wondering, that can host a serious amount of resources. That dedicated hosting is probably big enough for anyone watching this video. I would almost bet it. Now, getting into the interesting parts of Bluehost though, the interesting specifications about how they perform, their performance is incredibly good. The load times and latency are actually below average, which is a benefit when it comes to hosting. You're always looking for under 1000 milliseconds, and Bluehost easily delivers on those speeds. Now, another interesting thing is all of their packages can be bought either monthly up to 3-year increment. Their customer support is fantastic, and they've got a really great library of documentation at your service so you can understand how to run through it and set it up. Their dashboard and their user interface or UI is also extremely intuitive. One downside I do need to mention for Bluehost's dedicated hosting is it may be a bit confusing for cPanel users to make that transfer, but that is also the case with the majority of other dedicated hosts as well. It's definitely a great dedicated host though, and I actually rank Bluehost's dedicated host as the #1 dedicated host in 2021 at this time. The price for the features is incredibly cheap, and their dedicated hosting is just fantastic. Now, if you do want to check them out, go ahead and head down to my link in the description because I'm offering their plans at a special discount, so you can get that using my link. Thanks for watching. Remember to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video.